Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Fantasy Points. It's your boy Marshall here. Nate, as always.
As always.
We're still doing the roundtable discussion, so we still got Rob and Eric here.
Yeah, back.
Yeah, got a rook here, someone that ain't done the podcast yet, but his knowledge is vast. Our boy Brent.
I don't know if I belong at this table.
We have led him to the championship.
You probably know.
However, I'll do my best to keep up.
That's what's up, man. You'll do good. Since we've already done the topics for everybody, we all did our top players, sleepers, busts. I'm going to get with Brent first and talk about how you did last year in fantasy, man. You did pretty good.
Turned the corner.
Yeah, I felt like I had a really good draft, and that's really what got me to where I got to last year. Of course, I made a trade that could or couldn't have cost me the championship like I do every year, but
So there's a trade.
the trade was I traded Chris Johnson for DeMarco Murray, and who was the other guy I traded? You, Eric. Who was it?
Brent gave me Chris Johnson and Michael Crabtree for DeMarco Murray.
Ooh, a 2-for-1.
That's right.
And they both had good seasons last year.
Especially Crabtree.
And DeMarco,
He gets started out garbage, and then he started picking it up right after the trade, like as Brand's style does.
Right.
As soon as you drop someone to Brand, they catch fire right after.
So you said you drafted better this year. What was different?
Well, what was different is the year before last, I drafted Peyton Hillis really high. Drafted him as my third pick. Jamal Charles as my first pick. Both of whom went out within 2 months of season starting. I think Peyton Hillis played like 6 or 7 games, and was nothing near what he did the year before. Of course, my wife had him the year before. Helped her win the championship, so it burned me even more, I should have known not to take someone that my wife took. But
Hey, man, that might not. We've been singing Kim's
harping
praises.
on- yeah, we harped on Kim.
She's always up top, and it says something to let a girl
I
in
don't
the league.
think that you need to be doing it. She sings her praises, and that's fine. Hey, you guys don't hear what I hear.
I'll take your word on it. All right, so yeah, that being said, you got number 2 pick this year.
That's right. That's right.
Who you drafting this year?
I don't know yet. I don't know. It could be Arian, of course. He's
Solid player.
He's a solid player. He's doing, 1,400 yards and 11 touchdowns, give or take.
I think
A
14.
couple hundred, So I just worry about his health. I'm worrying about the curse getting him as far as how many touches. He had like 360 touches last year. I'm not sure on the exact stat, but
It's pretty close. He had like 330 carries alone.
yeah, he had like 360 or 370 touches, and every year after that, it seems like backs tend to fall off. It's just a matter of physics. 3 or 4 months doesn't really let the body heal as much as it should when you put that much stress on it.
I mean, you had Doug Martin last year, so you know better than anyone how good he did. I mean, you've talked about getting him.
Right.
Think about Doug.
I'm thinking about doing Doug. I just worry about the Tampa Bay offense. You want your stud to be part of a good offense. You don't want a stud that's, I guess it's 2 ways. You either want them to be part of a good offense or you want them to be the only part of the offense. And if they're just kind of a good part on a bad offense, then their production is always not really where you want to be as far as your first pick.
To me, that makes Doug Martin more of a better pick to me because he's in the second year of that offense, and he killed it last year in the first year of that offense, and now he's just got more time under his belt to pick up things and get all of the little subtle nuances of the offense down, and I think he'll do just as well, even better this year.
Yeah, we talked about it in ours with like Shiano. Because this is one more year they all learn his system. One more year, Benton Jackson, is going to help stretch the field. And I like Doug Martin too. I said with Fit, if he slides to me, I'll for sure think about taking him.
But it's taking him over Arian Foster is the question.
Yeah,
Foster,
Foster had 14 touchdowns last year, which was the most. And I had him. And you do worry about getting hurt. Do what I did, get Ben Tate. I ended up not even needing him. But if you do, you at least got that handcuff.
I guess it's more whether you want to draft upside or safety, because, you know what you're going to get when you go after Arian Foster.
But who has more upside, Arian Foster or
Well, I think the
I'd say Arian Foster has just been more consistent.
In our league, PPR, though, it's a little
more upside. I mean, Doug Martin
Martin
could get 2,000 yards. He could get 2,000 on
like
purpose.
1,900 yards
2,000 last year.
Yeah.
So he had like 1,900.
I mean, they've got him third for a reason. I
Yeah.
mean, he's up there. That's not even considering everyone's got PPR leagues. That's
Here's-
based on standards.
Here's the difference: is Arian Foster is a running back that's going to get a ton of touches on a good offensive team, and then you look at Doug Martin, who is going to get most of the touches on a bad offensive team. So to me, Arian Foster's got more upside. I mean, it's harder to get touchdowns on a team that's not going to score touchdowns.
Well, what Rob was saying is the Texans have other playmakers more, I think. I mean, like, I don't know, if you're the only dude for a team, you're the only dude for a team.
Well, in the past, we see him just give the ball to Arian Foster like bananas over
I'm
there.
telling you, I had him last year, dude, and it was scary. It's like when we talked about 2 years ago having CJ, it seems like everyone hits Chris Johnson harder than they hit anyone else. I mean, it makes me sure when I see it.
Right.
You know, I mean, and same with Foster. Until I had him on my team and I started watching those Texans games and seeing how they just pounded it with him, like every play, I was like, no wonder this dude's hurt. I mean, I don't care how big he is. I mean, but, you know, for fantasy-wise, it's...
Now you guys know I'm in the pickle. I mean, I can't.
Hey, man, it's yours to decide.
I do mock.
I wasn't trying to put you
pretty
on the
good pick.
spot, man. I mean, we
Yeah.
did it. We told our picks and stuff, too, and if you'd listened to the show, you might have known that.
I'm even thinking about C.J. Spiller.
Hey, he's going to throw up.
He's going to throw up.
He's
Exactly.
going to blow up. He's going to blow up, and then he's going to throw up.
He gonna blow up till he throw up.
Hey, man, I got
That's
Spiller's
big
another
for both.
injury guy, though, man.
That thing alone, he moved
makes
up
me
his
wanna
spot or
say,
two.
you know,
I don't think there's
Jamal
any.
Charles is hurt.
I don't think anybody would look at you in
Yeah.
disrespect if you got him. I mean, with the second pick. I mean, they've claimed it. They claimed it. I mean,
That's what you want fantasy-wise, you know.
We also, we did a sleeper and a bust. Did you do a sleeper and a bust for us?
I did.
Yeah.
What do you want first, sleeper or bust?
That's fine. You can do sleeper.
All right. My sleeper this year is my boy CP out of Tennessee, bringing in dreads, bringing that slang, you know, bringing all that swag. He don't need to know the playbook. Dude don't need to know the playbook. They're going to say, CP, run that right there towards that hash mark, catch that ball, and that boy throws it to you. All right, coach. You know, that's what it's going to be, and he's going to grab it and go.
So Derek Dooley's still cooking it.
I think he's supposed to be returning kicks too and punts.
No, you know he will be.
That's
Yeah.
a definite upside to
Hey,
have
this
him.
counts as they knew they were getting rid of Harvin.
Well,
or
you know,
might
and
get
I
rid of
think
Harvin.
the reason that they got CP is to fill that Harvin role because they've traded Harvin away, and they've already dealt with a guy who, you know, reportedly didn't know the playbook. He played there 3 years, didn't know the playbook, couldn't run the right routes and all that, but, you know, he's still consistently a high pick going into each season just because of his potential. And just because when you see him grab the ball, when you see him get the ball, you know, he makes something happen with it, and they can find a way to get him the ball. It's just like I think CP is going to be the guy who is going to be put in to fill in that role. And I think the coaches already know how to put somebody in place that's like him. And so I think that he'll be able to put up numbers, especially where his ADP is like in the 11th round or...
That's what Nate's looking it
You
up.
can't
I
even-
mean, for talking sleepers, I mean, for sure.
You can't even find him. It's absolute highway robbery where they have him, because all they have is Greg Jennings, who we all know was awesome for so many years. But it's over, and he doesn't have Aaron Rodgers throwing it to him.
He's always had great quarterbacks.
He's not a physical specimen. You know, he's just a crisp route runner, and he's a guy who can catch the ball if somebody can get it to him in a tight window, and that's not 124.
I'm a firm believer in taking rookie anything, really, towards the end of the draft. I had A.J. Green when he was a rookie, and that panned out for me
I
quite
mean,
well.
that can be the best sleepers because no one's ever seen him play in the NFL. I mean, and I'm with you. I mean, I
But
like
man,
Patterson, man.
Definitely worth a shot.
CP is way better than the 127th pick, or 100. What is that? 124th pick. What round?
That's like 10th round.
11.
11th round.
or something.
Freaking deep.
It's ridiculous. You can't even find his name on there, and so like when you're going to draft, you scroll down. It's so far down. I mean, there's people on there like.
I've had him in a couple mocks with the last pick.
You know, you're going to tell me that he's not going to
He's
put
not
up
even
more.
the highest rated ranked rookie on the board.
You gonna tell me Vic Ballard's gonna put up more points than him? You know, you're gonna tell me that. I mean, you know, Vic,
No, I get your point. No, you're right on it.
Going around him right now, Vincent Brown, DeAndre Hopkins, A.J. Jenkins, Emmanuel Sanders.
I mean, I'm big on Hopkins, but he's not returning kicks. And I mean, you never know. I mean, we've seen Patterson at Tennessee, and I mean, guys that can do that.
Yeah,
There's
but
not
I
that much stopping him.
comparison to Cordell would probably be Randall Cobb. I mean, his rookie season wasn't great, but it was still pretty good.
I don't know if he's as good a receiver.
But he's a better receiver. But he doesn't have Aaron Rodgers. He's got Ponder. So that's how I think it's going to be just like Percy Harvin. They're just going to throw him in there. He's going to return punts. They might give it to him out of the backfield. They're going to use him just like they used Percy.
If they're throwing the ball to him and he's returning
draft
punts and kicks, he's definitely a worthwhile pick.
That's a definite.
After 11, that's the
yeah,
best.
I mean, or steal.
thing
You
to
want to call it a
take. Yeah,
steal?
it's a steal.
You know, I mean, for sure.
I think everybody at the table would take that kid deep in the.
If I could get him in the 10th or 11th round, yeah, but I think Brent's gonna take him.
I'm serious. I've mock drafted him in the last round before.
But yeah, I already know Brent spilled the beans on who his bust is, and I feel like we're probably gonna talk about it for 5 minutes.
So let's get into this.
Go ahead.
I would love to hear
Go
this.
ahead and put your bust out there
All right.
and argue your side.
Well, my bust, and it's not really because of where he's going on the draft board and where Yahoo has him.
Just straight
It's
hate.
just basically where our champ has him, Nathan S. Sharp. I don't know if S is his middle name.
It is.
Nathan S. Sharp has Reggie Bush. He's my bust of the year because, well, it's just real easy. He's a bust every year. You know, every year he's supposed to do 1,500 yards and, 400 yards receiving. He's built like, Superman or he's built like Spider-Man. The guy's just all gristle. He can run a 4-flat 40. He's just a freak. But then when people touch him, it's like he just turns into Mr. Glass. I don't know. It's like
I don't think so at all, Brent. I had him last year, and he proved last year, I think, with the Dolphins that he could run between the tackles, and he did. I was more than happy with him last year, as my flex player, not necessarily as a running back, but he more than got the job done with flex last year.
What round did you take him in? Do you remember?
Oh gosh, it was
Late?
probably fourth to sixth round, something like that.
Right, and
I can look it up.
And
But that was the unknown, too, going to Miami, because we knew how they were going to use him. They weren't going to use him like New Orleans used him. They were going to use him like the every down back. I don't know how many carries he averaged a game, but it was more than he had in his career. And I don't think he got hurt all year last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he didn't. And the reason why I say it is because, he was the feature back. And he got his chance to be the feature back. And I think, yes, there's teams that you say, hey, I want my back to be on a good offense, like Arian Foster. I want him to be on the Texans. I want him to be on a good offense. I want him to be able to have a chance.
Explosive offense, man.
They're a pretty explosive offense, and that's not where I'm going with it. Sometimes the back makes the offense. I think that
Arian Foster
is a good example that he kind of makes that offense. It's not that the Texans were an offensive juggernaut before he got there, So he kind of he changed the history there at that program as far as them being a potent offense, and I think a lot of it, there's a reason that this guy is their starting back and he plays so many downs is because he's going to make the offense happen. And I think that, if Reggie Bush was that player, that he would have made the offense happen if he's given the touches. But, he was given the touches. He's got 986 rushing yards.
I'm not happy with that number.
Yeah, me either. I don't like it either.
The Dolphins never passed.
He put up 233 points in our fantasy league, and the top running back, or the second running back, put up 381. So Doug Martin beat him by 150 points. And if you're going to take him as your second or third pick,
Well, Nate
Touche.
will go ahead and let you know why he wants to take him with his second pick.
that's pretty
Pretty sure I don't want him. Okay.
that's just a gamble to me. I don't know. It's a gamble.
So you're saying more bust for where Nate's taking him, because where he's actually at is like the 4th or 5th round.
The 4th
like in the
round,
rankings.
5th round is fine. 4th
You're
round.
saying where Nate's where Nate is going to take
And
him.
I think Nate's not alone. I think there's a lot of people that probably feel like that he's.
Well, we talk about Stafford throwing it 700 times
Right.
and him dumping it down like he does
Right.
and all that stuff. And I mean, someone
We are in
like
a
Bush,
PPR league.
someone like Bush, look at Jonathan Best.
Right.
You know, I mean, you talk about someone staying hurt and not playing. And if Bush can stay healthy in that, I mean, I like the idea of it too. No, I'm probably not going to get him in second because Nate will probably already have him. But
Nathan has the 16th pick in the second round.
so Nate, that's what's up. That was kind of aimed towards you since that's your dude. So what do you think?
As far as the bust, I mean,
Alright,
I don't think he has proved much at all, and I think Robert said he was happy with him last year. I'll tell you this, in the first 5 weeks last year, I would have loved to trade and got him. I think I sent Robert about 6 trade requests, and right after he denied my trade request, I mean, it kind of went downhill. I mean, he blew up. He was the leading rusher for the first few weeks. But yeah, I don't think he's panned out in his entire career.
Okay,
But I would take him.
I'm
with the
going to start
25th
off my
pick.
argument right now with a player
Have to do it on that.
who
Yeah.
I think will be modeled exactly like him. I think that's what the Saints originally wanted him to be like, but he kind of had a little hurt, a little injury past. I know Reggie didn't stay healthy, but is Darren Sproles. Darren Sproles last year in our scoring was the 9th running back. Right now, last year, with those stats, you're saying you weren't happy, Reggie was the 15th running back. So, if you take what Detroit Lions running back did, Mikael LaShore had 215 carries. Jaquil Bell, who was the third down back, had 82 carries. Each, if you add up everything they did, they had 1,200 yards. A 1,200-yard running back with the two of them combined, Jaquil Bell, as the third down running back, had 52 catches. Both of them together had 86 catches. Reggie's going there to be an every down back.
52.
Well, first of all,
52 was top 5.
let me just
Darren
let me
Sproles-
just correct you.
Darren
It's
Sproles led the
Joik
league
Bell.
with 70 fell.
Joik Bell is Jaquil, the player in question. And you give me you giving me 2 guys' numbers combined, which I mean I get where you're going with it. Somebody else gonna get some carries.
Yeah, he can't play every down.
LaShore's
Every
still
snap.
there, right?
Mikael will probably do a little short yardage
He'll get the
stuff.
short yard and third down.
In the long run, I think the
But
line
Reggie's
back
not
is going
gonna-
to look the same as it does what you have written down right there with all the
I don't think so.
receptions from different receivers.
And Reggie, the last 2 years in Miami, his very first year he did his very first 1,000-yard season, 1,000 yards and 86, and last year he had 986, just fell short of 1,000 yards. Played every
But he
game.
blew up the first.
Well, I'd say the first
couple
year we
months.
played, I had him in like 09 when he was for the Saints, and I mean he carried my team
I
all the
think
way
in
to
the
Super
second
Bowl.
round,
know
if
that
I
was a
can get-
different time and
I think
team
if I
and
can get
everything,
a potential person that's going to catch 70 balls plus rushing, you know, if he gets 700 rushing yards
With the
with
16th pick.
with the 70 catches, that's not amassing any receiving yards at all. He'll be a top 10 running back in the second round,
I think he'll be top 10 back for sure. I think so.
especially in our scoring system.
I think it's just a
and
little
I'm
bit.
not even sure I'm going to be able to get him in the
I
second
was gonna say, I
round.
think it's a little bit in between what y'all are
I think you
saying.
will if you're going to jump for this.
I don't know if he's as high as second. I don't know if he's as low as fifth. He's probably like third, fourth. You know,
I would
what
take him
mean?
in third round. I wouldn't jump to get him in the second round. I think there's a lot more. You can get a top end receiver in place of him.
That's an unknown too. I
And,
mean,
you know, you
do
just gotta
never
go.
know.
You know, when drafts happen, you gotta go with the flow. You know, or else you're gonna get sunk. But I definitely think I agree with Nate. I think he's gonna be. He's gonna
There's a
be
lot of
ahead
upside.
this year.
Yeah. No, I mean I
Yeah.
agree, and yeah.
I have the 24th and the 25th pick in the draft. The 25th pick is the first pick of the third round, and I would pick him. So you better get him in your second round.
So I guess
And I'm not even terribly high on the
He
guy,
just
but I think
told
he's
you.
a good first. I think he's a good third round.
Nate didn't need to be told he needs to get him. All right, but yeah, that's what's up. We're gonna do another segment here in a minute, but we really ran over because so much good fantasy insight just there, man. That round.
That was just one topic.
That round table,
One topic.
that round table does it every time. But yeah, thanks for Brent being here, Rob and Eric again. We're gonna cut this one short and see you in the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah.